So first of all, the co-creators and executive producers, Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin. It's live, they're coming. There you go. Hi. Maybe you know them, right? And now, last but not least, the cast. Bella Ramsey, Pedro Pascal, Mo Dandridge, and Gabriel Luna. All right, next question. This is from Luan Ribeiro from ArteCult. Are you here? Okay. And from Marco Victor from Jornada Geek. There you go. This is for all the cast. Was there a scene that you guys made that touched you in some way to the point that you got emotional? And how was your reaction when seeing the clickers for the first time face to face? Just to give a context for people who haven't played, The Last of Us is not only about survival, but about emotions, bonds, and a lot of danger.
Should we go left to right this time?
What was the first question?
Okay, no worries. If there is any moment that touched you.
Oh, yes.
And
Well, I mean,
how was to meet the clickers for the first time?
I think, it was constant. It was a constant state of being a raw nerve the entire time, you know. A lot of my stuff with Pedro, obviously, was very touching because I have a younger brother. I'm the older brother, so we kind of flopped roles. But that was impactful. And the second question was, remind me again, please.
Where did you go?
I don't know. I've
The
blinked
second
out.
one?
You're thinking about Mexico?
How was to?
I was thinking about the World Cup.
Birthing.
Yeah. Oh,
How was your reaction when you met the clickers for the first time?
Oh, yeah.
Face to face.
Well, I loved. We had Terry Notary on for our movement consultant, and Terry, of course, if you know Terry, I mean, he's a master, and so I really engaged with it through what I wouldn't call it choreography. I would, whatever the essence of what it was, more the essence of the body moving than it was the makeup and the prosthetics, which were obviously incredible. And I got to see, obviously you're in the makeup trailer, you got to see a lot of the prep for all of that. So I don't want to say too much. I feel like I've already said too much earlier.
You've already said
I'm just
too much.
Right? We don't know if Tommy's seen a clicker.
No one needs to know.
Yeah,
Oh, is it hello. Gosh, I really wish that we'd had. I wish. Anyway, that's a spoiler too, right? Just stop talking, Merle. You know what? I will say the very first time. Pedro, do you remember the first time that we saw each other like on set?
Yes, I do.
It was at the bathroom. We were like walking out, and we're like, "Oh my God, look at you! Oh my God, look at you! You look so great. How you doing? Oh my God!" And I think our first moment together is the first time that I ever met you, Bella. And for the complicated and maternal relationship that Marlene has with Bella, I don't know why. Maybe it's just because she's so magical, but like that, I had that from the first sight, and I just was so. And our first scene was so wonderful and beautiful. What was the thing about where you moved on set?
Sorry. If there was, what was the scene, or when was the scene that you get touched or emotional?
I did a lot of lurking because it was so astonishing to see it manifest. And I did that same thing that Neil did. Look at this! Oh my gosh, look at that! I can't even believe it. And I kept texting him like photos, like look at me standing with this. Like I was at some, I don't know, I was being ridiculous. But I was always in a state of constant emotion. So much that I was like, what is wrong with me? I was so moved by everything. But I will say I did have a moment. And I won't give a spoiler about it, but the scene with which, on the day that I met Neil over 10 years ago, the scene of that was my audition scene, being able to, when I first met Marlene, being able to do that in this piece was wildly amazing.
There are a lot of emotions that are experienced throughout the season and story of The Last of Us. I got to see every variation of what happens when the fungus crosses over into the human DNA. Right? And the birthing process of the fungus and the human. Bella? I'm going to say something. I saw everything, so I can't say anything.
Yeah.
Sure. This is a hard question to not give spoilers. But yeah, there's a lot of emotions. And I think the some of our later scenes together, I think we shot for a year, and I think
Like a year of emotions.
Yeah, exactly. It's torture. But then I think when you've been spending that much time with the crew and the cast, then it becomes more emotional. I think the deeper you get. So I think towards the end as well, and also we knew that it was going to finish. So all the emotions towards the end.
I've never had the experience before where, because we were there shooting for a year, meeting each other for the first time, the characters meeting each other for the first time, natural sort of walls that are up between characters, between people conscious or unconscious, nerves, expectations of one another, of us, and to be in it together in a shooting process, and for the characters to kind of be parallel to this experience and to gradually like open up to one another, and everything was really special.
We get to see it all, and they don't. So what's interesting is they experience emotions in the moment, and when they're experiencing emotions in the moment, we are usually going, her shirt opened up in the wrong way, or somebody moved back there.
Yeah, we loved that, by the way.
It's a good thing we did it, because when we put it all together, that's where we start feeling the emotions. And what's been fascinating is, over the course of these months putting the show together, what happens to me now is sometimes I'm watching a scene where Joel and Ellie are in a car together and they're having a conversation that isn't emotional, and I will start to cry because I know where it's going and I know what's going to happen to them, which is beautiful.
Don't cry now.
I
God,
can't help it. I can't.
Don't make it weird.
That's the way I am. I'm birthing tears. And and that's how I know that we all did a great job. We all did a great job because it all comes together. And I love the way, it's funny, Gabe, you were talking about playing the game 1 hour at a time. And what's beautiful about this method and the way we do shows at HBO is we get to start and stop a story over and over. And beginnings are beautiful and endings are beautiful. And we have all of these beginnings and endings and beginnings and endings until you get to the end, which comes all the way back to the beginning. And it all ties together. And every bit of work that they did, all of the heart and soul that they put into it, and their anger and their fear, every emotion a human can have, it's all there and it works. It's so compelling, and I can't wait for you all to see it.